it published a global heat map of activity between 2015 and September 2017. The interactive map showing pinpricks of activity in Syria and Iraq. Now the US-led coalition against the Islamic State group says it's revising its guidelines on the use of all wireless and technological devices on military facilities. For more on this, I'm now joined by Aisling Connolly, PhD student in cryptography, security and privacy at Paris's École Normale Supérieure. Hello, thank you very much for coming in. Now, this really was a major security oversight.
Yeah, exactly. I think the thing that people don't realise is that when we share data through these apps, exactly how much is shared and what can be inferred from what is shared. So you end up with nobody really being at fault in this situation, but then people may be learning things that perhaps they shouldn't.
So you don't just find out the location of people, but, you can find out their location, but can you really know what they're doing and what they're saying?
And this is the thing. So you can find out the location, but you can also learn a lot of other things, like the particular places that people congregate, where they're most likely, well, in particular with this app, where they're most likely to run, where they, what corners they'd go around. And we advocate encryption very much so that you hide the details of messages, let's say, that you send to each other. But at the same time, a lot can be kind of leaked without actually knowing the message. So I send a message to you. The fact of what I said may be secret, but the fact that I said something to you reveals a lot. First of all, that the two of us are communicating, and often that's enough to learn some valuable information. So
it's not just a worry when it comes to security, because of course here the worry is that it would involve US military personnel or military personnel from other countries, but even then for civilians then, so what's your advice to civilians? I mean, is it about choosing the right app or choosing the right settings within the app?
Both, actually, and it's not only to civilians, it's to civilians and companies. Because it's quite a new phenomenon, it's getting a little bit out of control at the moment. So I think civilians need to choose how much privacy they're willing to forfeit for the services that they gain from a company, let's say. But also companies need to decide what data they make public. So in the case of this particular app, then everything was public, so no one did anything wrong. But the question is, should it be public? So there are things that people can do. You can just choose not to make your data public. And there are also things you can do to see exactly how much you are sharing, because it's hard to keep track of sometimes because we have so many apps. And so, yeah.
Well, often when you upload an app, you get a whole list of, do you want to share this, your location, your photos, information? What if you were to say, I'm all right with this, but you change your mind later? I mean, what are the rights of people and how much are they protected by the government? Or is it really just down to us individually?
This is a good question. And actually, it's something really in debate at the moment. It's not fully decided, I think. There are different strategies from the government, from different companies and from individuals. Everyone wants something different. Now within the EU, we're very lucky that there's a new regulation coming into play in May, the General Data Protection Regulation, which really tries to focus on individual privacy. And they're making large companies and small companies build very strong privacy guarantees into their apps now, especially if it concerns personal privacy of individual European citizens. But yeah, it's still very much at debate between the companies, between the governments, and I think we as individuals should kind of stop and think, okay, how much do we actually want to share, and how much value, let's say, is it bringing me, and is the trade-off worth it?
All right, keep exercising, but you don't want everyone knowing where you're running and what you're doing. Exactly. All right, thank you very much indeed, Aisling Connolly, for coming in.
Thank you.